Vulcan, the final frontier. Our course has brought us deep into the Canadian prairies, where a small town has embraced a name that echoes across the galaxy. A community shaped not by crowds or tourism, but by creativity, pride, and a shared love of discovery. A place where the spirit of exploration lives quietly in everyday life, and where imagination continues to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hello to all the fans of Star Trek, from the boomers who first watched it as kids, teens back in 1966, and to every new generation discovering the final frontier today. Today, we are visiting Vulcan, Alberta, a quiet prairie outpost where the frontier isn't space, it's the adventure waiting right here in Alberta. Vulcan is the Star Trek capital of Canada, but the name itself came long before the Enterprise ever launched. When the railway arrived in 1910, a surveyor named the town after Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. It was pure mythology, not science fiction. But decades later, when Star Trek premiered in 1966, the town suddenly shared its name with one of the most iconic worlds in the galaxy. And instead of ignoring the coincidence, Vulcan embraced it, transforming a quiet prairie community into a small but legendary outpost for Trek fans.
In 2010, Leonard Nimoy, the actor who famously portrayed Mr. Spock, made a historic visit to Vulcan. Fans lined the streets as Nimoy led a parade, toured the Trek Center, and unveiled a bronze bust of Spock. He donated original Spock memorabilia, received the key to the town, and closed with his iconic blessing, "Live long and prosper." The day cemented Vulcan as Canada's Star Trek capital and became one of the town's most celebrated moments.
I have been at Vulcan for 44 years. I figured it was about time I came home. In all of these experiences, I have never had an experience quite as touching as I'm having here today, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyways, there's a community parade happening today, an event that for many years was known as the Spock Days Parade. In recent times, it has shifted into something simpler, something more local, a celebration that feels less like a festival and more like a gathering of neighbors. Today, there were no starships, no phasers, no intergalactic spectacle, just the heart of a small Alberta town coming together. And in its own quiet way, it still echoed the spirit of Star Trek. People united, sharing a moment, moving forward together. After the parade, we went for a quick lunch at the food truck set up nearby. Nothing fancy, just good prairie comfort food. After lunch, we made our way to the Vulcan Visitor Centre, the heart of the town's Star Trek identity. From the outside, it looks like a small prairie building until you notice the Starship-shaped design elements and the giant Enterprise replica standing proudly nearby. Right in front of the building, there's a commemorative stone honoring Gene Roddenberry, a simple tribute to the creator of the universe that inspired Vulcan to embrace its name. Inside, the center feels like a tiny museum dedicated to creativity. Uniforms, memorabilia, fan art, and decades of community pride. It's not flashy or high-tech, but it carries the spirit that made Vulcan lean into its identity, curiosity, optimism, and a great love for the final frontier.
The unmissable roadside attraction that puts Vulcan on every must-visit map for tourists and sci-fi fans is the SS Enterprise Monument. This 9-meter-long Starship replica sits proudly on a pedestal, complete with a plaque welcoming visitors to Vulcan, written in Klingon. Talk about intergalactic hospitality. The monument has become a pilgrimage site for Star Trek fans, not just in Canada, but around the world. Anyone who knows their pop culture would rank the SS Enterprise among the most iconic fictional starships ever created, right up there with the Millennium Falcon and the Death Star.
Next, we headed into downtown to see what the rest of the town feels like. It's a small main street with local shops and prairie charm. But even here, the Star Trek influence pops up in little ways. Murals, signs, and playful nods to the franchise are woven into the storefronts, giving the town a personality that's part Alberta, part Final Frontier. There was also the statue of Spock, a bronze bust placed right in downtown, instantly recognizable and impossible to miss. It adds a fun, familiar touch of Star Trek to the center of town. Just a short walk from it is the transporter photo spot, where you can step in and pretend you're about to beam up. These little touches give downtown Vulcan its own quirky charm, blending prairie life with a hint of sci-fi nostalgia. But downtown also gives you history. We found a wall here that shows memorable moments and unforgettable events in town. One that caught our attention was a drawing labeled UFO sighting. It's one of those fun pieces of local lore, a story that's been passed around the community over the years. According to it, a bright light moved across the sky in a way no aircraft should, silent and fast before disappearing over the fields. Whether it was something ordinary or something a little more mysterious, it's become one of those stories the town never forgot. Within downtown, you will also find a historical museum. It is a small local spot preserving the town's real stories.
So welcome to the Vulcan Museum. We've got kind of three main areas to look at, two permanent displays and then one that we change every year. So first things first, the Prospect Slope School over here. So it's actually the original one-bedroom schoolhouse. That must have been constructed in the 40s or 50s from Prospect Slope, which was about 60 to 80 kilometers east of here. And in 2000, it was kind of not in a great state of repair, so it was brought here and redone in all of its glory, and so we have it back to the original kind of way that it used to be. So there's that, and then over here we have the Alberta Government Telecommunications Building. It is also an original building. It used to house all of the phone stuff for the town, but once it switched to new phones and TELUS didn't need a big building, they just have their little building on the other side. So we turned it into a museum. So we've got a phone section, we've got a medical section over there, we've got like a newspaper section over there, and those are our two permanent displays. And then over here is our rotating display, and this year we're celebrating the 9 in a line grain elevators. And so Vulcan, for the longest time, had at least 9 grain elevators that stood in a line along the railway track. And from 1927 until 1958, Vulcan was actually the largest wheat shipping point in the entire British Commonwealth. So we shipped 2.5 million bushels of wheat in a year. So we're doing a celebration of that. So we've got recreations of a homesteader's bedroom and kitchen. We've got a recreation of a grain elevator office. We've got a barn recreation, a workshop recreation. And then we have some like actual things you can do with your hands in the middle. You can moisture test. We've got a replica of the grain elevator, so you can bring the grain up and have it go into the bins. So that's our rotating display, so feel free to start wherever you want.
scale for moisture testing. You pour it in. Well, we'll have to find out.
I'm so happy hearing this. It reminds me of my teenage years.
It's been like 20 years or so since I last heard a phone dial tone. I'm aging myself.
Lastly, we went to the Little Bow Provincial Park, a quiet spot just outside town but still within Vulcan County, where you can relax by the water and enjoy the prairie landscape. You can come here for free if you're just visiting for the day, but camping does require a fee. It's a peaceful place to hang out, unwind, and take in the wide open Alberta skies. And that wrapped up our day in Vulcan, a small town with a big personality, part prairie, part sci-fi, and full of stories you don't expect until you're standing right here. Thank you for watching.
Keep shining.
Happy wandering!